Hello, all my lovely little cupcakes, how are we doing today? So today's video is going to be all about gender pronouns. So all about pronouns today, so that is today's video. So I'm going to explain each gender and what gender you will usually associate that person with. So on that note, let's get cracking on with the video. So as we're going to get going, so I'm going to start off with explaining something first. So I'm going to explain what cis people are people who are either biologically male or female, and they identify as male or female. So with that being said, I'm going to crack on with, I'm going to start off with a cis male and trans male, who normally their gender pronouns are usually him, he and his. So those are the three pronouns you generally direct that person with. Next person will be a cis female or a trans female. Their pronouns are usually he, his and she. So, and then the next set of pronouns, what are very commonly known throughout the world at the moment, are, and the type of gender that usually identifies with these pronouns are non-binary people. So non-binary means they don't identify as male or female and don't correspond with their sex at birth. So people who are normally non-binary will use the pronouns they, them and their. That is usually the pronouns they would use. It can vary from gender to gender because there is so many different types of gender out there these days, and there is so many pronouns. They are the only three pronouns that I'm going to personally touch on, as I feel like they are the three main pronouns recognised throughout the UK and the world at the moment. But what I do want to touch on in this video that I feel like is important to actually touch on is how important are pronouns to be used on somebody. Now, pronouns are actually quite important to many different people. Pronouns are important because that's who they identify as, and it shows that you are respecting that person by using the pronoun they identify with. Now, many people have gone, well, why do we have to use pronouns? Well, the reason we have to use pronouns is just because, like I've just explained, with it identifies that person and it shows that you are respecting that person by using their preferred pronoun. Alongside with that though, many people have asked me, well, I don't want to use that person's pronoun, I want to use their sex pronoun. Now, the only issue that I personally have that it doesn't work on a day-to-day basis. So what I mean by that is, like, if I was walking into a restaurant and you were already sat at that table and you have to explain who I am as a person over there, you wouldn't say that man across there, can you please tell him to come to me? Now, that wouldn't work because they would work thinking, well, where is a man? Now, if you're going to turn around and say that here over there in the blonde hair to come over, then that would work on a natural day-to-day basis. Now, that was just like one example obviously using something very easy and simple. Now, another thing where else pronouns might be missed, and something that I kind of find a little bit important. I had a very interesting conversation with a paramedic. So I spoke to a paramedic around about a couple of weeks ago now. I spoke to a paramedic, and a paramedic came to my property and we had a conversation about pronouns, of what to use, and be a little bit more educated alongside with pronouns. He identifies as male, so he turned around and we both explained what could be important and when you would use it, and when that you possibly might encounter misgendering someone. So he explained the fact that sometimes that you would have to misgender someone or use the other pronoun compared to what that person is. So the example that I am going to use on that will be, for example, if you got ran over, so you were in an accident, you accidentally got ran over. So now, for me, if I didn't wear my wig or makeup or nothing, as most of you know, that I still look very manly. With that being said, is if I got ran over and I was on the floor and I was just wearing my female clothing, now he would automatically assume and take on board that me personally on that ground, how he would look at me would be a male. So how he would put it down would be, I'm in my 20s, young male, in an accident. Now that's how I would be referred at that precise point. What he would tend to do then would actually be looking at me in a different way. So he turned around and said he might end up identifying me as female and using the pronouns for female, because that's what he can see directly in front of him. Now, that's how I always like to think about using people's pronouns. You're going to use the pronoun for what the person looks and what you assume that pronoun is going to be. Now, if you were ever unsure about a pronoun on a specific person, don't be afraid to ask them. So ask them. So if you're unsure, just ask, because it's not offensive. It's not going to be taken out of context. It just means that you are unsure and you are respecting that person a lot more by asking them, what pronoun would you like me to use? Now, I personally find that a lot more healthier, and I think that's a lot better. What I personally don't agree with is when people start having a go at people, saying that you're transphobic or you're some form of phobia because you haven't used the correct pronoun. Now, to just jump straight on the bandwagon of that, what about if that person was unsure? Now, I always personally think that, explain to the person, tell the person that don't use those pronouns. So, for example, if someone came up to me and said he and him, I would turn around and go, excuse me, I don't use those pronouns, I use she and her. Now, that is fine. So then, obviously, generally, they will say, I'm sorry, and then start using and correct themselves using the pronouns that I choose. Alongside with that, now, if that person refuses and blatantly refuses, or on all knowledge that they will not use the correct pronoun for yourself, then that's when it can become an issue. But don't stand there and kind of like start going off on one and go, you're this and you're that and everything else, because that gets nobody nowhere. If you start effing and blinding and shouting at people, that gets nobody nowhere. So the best bit of advice I can give you when somebody does not want to use the pronouns that you wish, just correct them on the pronoun, and then if they still refuse, just walk away. Because people who do not want to use your pronoun and people who are going to act like that are just not going to change their mind. Like I said, you're going to be wasting your breath. You're going to be wasting your time explaining to them that you want to use that pronoun and that is your pronoun. So my best advice would be, instead of standing there arguing with the person, if they are blankly like, oh my gosh, I am not using that pronoun, just walk away. It is much easier, it will save you. So using the pronouns can be very important to somebody. So please always respect people, respect everybody who wants to use the pronoun they want to use. Just try and adjust yourself sometimes. I know sometimes it can be very hard. I do it myself. I mess up sometimes. Sometimes I don't realise that I've used not the right pronoun to someone, and I've just corrected myself after, and even after I get corrected, sometimes I'll be like him or she or something. So usually I get it wrong. Everybody gets it wrong. That is perfectly fine. Getting it wrong is okay. It's just if you blankly refuse and you just don't want to use their pronouns at all. So that is it for today's video. Thank you very much for coming watch. If you are new here, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, hello once again. Thank you for coming watch this video as well. To let you all know, I am actually doing Vlogmas this year. So I would love if you can come along, come and watch it. Watch it each day. Come and support me throughout that piece. And it will also give you a better insight into my life. As you get to see me on a day-to-day basis. So you'll get to see different sides of me, and you'll get to see me grow over the past month as more of a personal, in-depth view of myself. So I am doing Vlogmas this year, so if so, please come and watch me for the month. I will appreciate you forever. And for that, if you like this video and if you found it very informative, give me a big thumbs up. Thank you. Leave a comment, tell me what you think, tell me what your pronouns are, tell me what you use. I'll be quite interested. I do read all comments, so I do love the comment section. I do try to answer every single question through comments, so thank you very much. On top of that, if you are going to leave a rude comment or if you're going to be absolutely disgusting in the comments, I will just delete your comment. Simple as that. So please don't waste your time and don't waste my time. Just keep the comment section nice and lovely. I do like people's opinions, or because if you don't agree with something, I'm not going to delete your comment just because it's something that you don't agree with. But be nice about it. I am very open. I can be very opinionated. So I do like opinions, but there is a difference from opinions and rudeness. So yes. On top of that, don't forget to give me a good like, comment and subscribe. Alongside with that, don't forget to press the notification bell. If you've already subscribed, check that you've got the notification bell on so you can get all the new upcoming content. And there is going to be so much what will be going on over the next couple of months. And next year there is going to be some massive and big changes. So come along and come and support me. And I love you all. So on that note, thank you very much. Mwah. Bye.